Welcome to Garden Invaders, the show that tackles Britain's worst garden nightmares and turns them into horticultural dreams.
I've come fully prepared with the design. We've got a van full of free landscaping materials, and we got, look, a kindergarten of Garden Invaders. Come on, guys, get off there, stop enjoying yourselves. And we've got loads of plants, but there's a problem. They've got to answer all of Charlie's questions. You're going to be firing questions at them to get the plants.
That's right. But it's great being right in the centre of London.
Oh, it's fantastic, isn't it? Just round the corner from my house.
Today we're invading the garden of social worker Chris Joseph with the help of her close friend Juliet Alexander. Chris has a very busy life. She's a single mum, has 4 children and keeps a full-time career going. The family need a sanctuary to relax in, but don't have the time or know-how to build it themselves. It's Garden Invaders to the rescue. Chris, for a small garden you've got an awful lot crammed in. There's several chairs, several sets of chairs actually, tables, some nice big plants.
Having a space like this, any size, you know, in the middle of London is fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you've got to go make the most of it so you can get out there.
Absolutely, yeah.
So Chris, what would you like in your garden if your dreams were all to come true today?
I think a nice, peaceful, tranquil space, lots and lots of stones, perhaps some water, and basically somewhere really, really calm that I feel when I open the door, it's somewhere to be and enjoy myself.
The view from inside is quite critical, really, because you've got this big window, you know, your living room's there, so you are looking out onto it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, it's small, it's very small, so we've just got to be very simple and quite bold in the approach to make something work, really.
You
Can't
just
fit too
described
much in there.
Chris, really. Because the thing is, although it's small, you know, we've had some fantastic parties here, I have to tell you.
Yeah?
Absolutely brilliant ones.
Yes. Well, you're not going to trash the garden afterwards, are
No,
you?
no,
No, we're not that sort of...
No, but a socialising element,
Very much so, yes.
Sounds good.
Definitely, very, very sociable, this lady.
Okay.
Very, very busy, works incredibly hard, looks after her children and everybody else, and wants a place that's nice and quiet, and deserves a place that's quiet and calm.
Who's going to be the labourer and who's going to answer all the questions then? Oh no, nobody's labouring, Joe. It's just you.
Really, guys.
We're all coming
Come
together.
on, you've got the boots on and everything.
It's me, yeah, I'm going to be labouring.
All right.
I'm up for it.
So we're doing the questions then, so I think we ought to go that way.
Okay, then.
After you.
Thank you.
See you
Get on with
later.
the work.
Yeah, win some
Boys.
plants. I think what we're going to do here is create some sort of sanctuary. Thanks, Leon. Yeah, a real indoor-outdoor space.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's important. So we're going to lose all this paving.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're going to put 3 deck pads. So you're going to walk boom, boom, boom across, and it's going to take you to the corner of the garden over there, where we're going to get rid of the shed, yeah, and
Excellent,
that tree.
excellent,
And I
yeah.
think we're going to be amazed by how much space is actually there. And then we're going to put this big sociable seating area.
Oh,
in
that's
there.
lovely.
Yeah, you get, I don't know, maybe get 10, even 12 people around that space.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. And under her special tree.
That's right, yeah, right underneath that
fantastic.
lovely cherry, yeah.
That's great. Excellent.
And then here, a nice tranquil water feature that's going to be highly visible from inside as well.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, and hopefully she's going to win a load of plants to soften all the hard landscape.
Yes.
What do you think?
I think that's fantastic.
Yeah.
She'll love it. She'll love it.
Cheers, Dave.
Ooh, what's this? What's
There
this?
you go. That's your Invader for a Day t-shirt, funnily enough. It says it on it. You've got
Oh,
to get it
goodness.
on and
Okay.
wear it with pride. You've got
I
the
shall.
boots.
I've got the
And,
boots.
First thing to do is get this washing line down.
Chris, it's a nice little green area outside.
Yes, it is.
So we've got what I would call some feature plants here, some bamboos and things.
Lovely.
And then the next group's really sort of herbaceous, but lots of strong foliage shapes and colours there, so quite pretty. Some climbers to cover the walls once they're all cleared away.
Yep.
And then some shrubs just to add a bit of structure there. They're evergreen, so they're going to sort of give you some interest all the year round, as well as having flowers and scent to them. And that bit over there, those are the finishing touches. Nice patio heated party, some cushions, some candles,
Wow.
everything like that. But that's Juliet's department, that's not you.
Okay.
So what's she like at the horticultural side of things?
She's excellent.
Is she? Might as well put those straight in the garden, haven't we, then? Let me tell you a bit more about these over here. So we've got bamboos. Now there are actually two different bamboos here. This one's Bambusa Oreo. Oreo means yellow.
Yes.
Has a smaller leaf and it's probably one of the more popular bamboos because it's not so invasive. The one thing to watch with bamboos is don't let them dry out.
Okay.
And you can tell when they're starting to dry out because the leaves actually start rolling up.
Yes.
So when you see them doing that,
Yeah.
give them a good water. So they're actually better off in the ground than they are in containers. And then this plant over here with this lacy yellow leaf is an elder, a golden elder. It's Sambucus racemosa Sutherland Gold. Grown for its foliage, although it does have white flowers in the spring, sort of white flatheads, but it's really for foliage. Do you like those?
Yes, they look absolutely stunning. They look really, really beautiful.
So you're ready for your question, are you?
Yes, I am.
Which of these plants produces a heady fragrance which epitomises summer evenings? Is it marigold, jasmine or chrysanthemum?
I'm going to go with my first instinct,
Yes.
which is jasmine.
You're right. Well done. Hey, we got some structure in the garden. Joe will be happy. Mike, just come and get these plants, mate. We got our first group.
Well, it's not all bad news. We've actually found something we want to keep here. What is this, Juliet?
It's a St. Lucian cook pot, and basically it's like an outdoor barbecue.
Oh, great. Yeah, well, that'll go back in the garden. But unfortunately, the ground elder all around it is a nightmare. We've got to get every little bit of the root out. Otherwise, it's just going to come back again. Chris wants an urban oasis, somewhere where she can come back from work and just chill out and relax. And it's a small space, but we've already cleared the shed and taken the tree out, and it feels so much bigger. And I'm used to dealing with these sort of spaces because I live just around the corner, and London is my domain as far as designing gardens is concerned. So we're going to have deck pad there, a big deck pad, another one here and another one there, 3 of them dotted through the garden. But Charlie's going to do a water feature in this area here. We're going to plant around it. And it's really important because it's going to be highly visible from inside the house. So these deck pads are going to lead you through to the back of the garden. We've also got to deal with these walls because at eye level it's very important in a small garden that they look attractive. I'm going to grow a load of climbers up there, but I've got something up my sleeve for that. Towards the back of the garden, this is going to be the seating area. We've got this major concrete pad here that's here from when the shed was taken out. We're going to leave that in, and we're going to build a seat that's going to come here all the way around the back, and it's going to dogleg back in front of this lovely cherry tree. It's come around here, so it's going to be a nice sociable space to sit, invite people round, and who knows, maybe even have a party.
How do you know Juliet?
I met Juliet when I found out I was expecting twins.
Oh, you got twins, have you?
Yes, I have.
Oh, fantastic.
And I contacted my local twins club, and they put me in touch with her.
Oh, has she got twins then?
Yes, she has.
Oh, right. And what's it like having twins?
It's hard work.
Well, let me tell you about these plants here. These are all herbaceous. This one here with the variegated leaf is called Hosta Thomas Hogg. It will grow in the sunshine, but if it's in the sunshine, you've got to make sure it gets lots of moisture. Grown for the foliage, got this lovely green and white variegation, but as you can see, they get these flowers spikes with sort of bluebell type flowers, which last quite a long time and quite attractive. Over there, the purple one is Heuchera. It's called Palace Purple. Again, foliage, fantastic. It's got those ruffled leaves. Wants a moisture retentive soil, quite easy to look after. And the last one over there is Elcamilla mollis. And it's called Elcamilla from alchemy because they used to think that you could get silver from it, because if you look at the droplets of water on there, they thought that if you mashed it all up you could get silver out the leaves. It has a fluffy green flower in the spring, can look a bit tatty sort of late summer, and all you do then is just chop it all back and you'll find that you'll get new leaves coming and you might get a few more flowers. So quite nice plants, low growing, give a lot of colour interest.
Okay.
Here we go into the second question. Which part of the horseradish plant is used to make a popular sauce? Is it the root, the leaves, or the flower buds?
I have eaten horseradish, all chopped up obviously. It's quite hot and spicy. I do like it. I don't think it's the leaves. No. I'm going to go for the root.
You're right, because it's a big taproot on horseradish and they grate that up.
There's always the practicalities in a garden of getting from one area to the other. Now, the conventional approach is to have a path. But here the garden doesn't really lend itself to it, and a simple path through the middle just wouldn't work. So what I've designed is these 3 deck pads that are in effect acting as the path, but at the same time add a real graphic quality and a design sense to the whole space. And it's going to make it look great from the interior there. So we've got these frames already in, and underneath it, of course, we've got this landscape fabric. That'll stop the weeds coming up through the deck and through the planting around it. Now, Dave.
Hi, mate.
How have you built these then?
Well, because of the small space in here
Yeah.
and the big space out there, built the 3 frames outside and braced them, recycled a bit of skirting board like that, set them with a set square, braced them perfectly square, bring them in, up on a post in concrete, normal crack, deck boards on top, and you're going to love me.
I do love you. You know I love you. But, I mean, what about as a design item? Do you think it's going to work well?
I think it's a shocker,
Why?
because it's 3 times the work.
Yeah, it's 3 times the work, but I'm talking from a visual point of view. Do you think it's going to work well?
If it's finished, it'll look great, yeah.
It's going to look fantastic, though. It does add a nice little rhythm and direction
it
through
will,
the garden.
It will, yeah.
Come on, I know you're a builder, but I know
know.
you've got some aesthetic sense to you as well.
It's going to look cracking.
Now these are all different climbers. They all look a bit green, but we've actually got, this is Traclisburnum Asiaticum. It's got these beautiful star white flowers, and the scent is really gorgeous. This one's known as Chilean potato vine, has white flowers, not scented, flowers all summer long.
Okay.
Quite vigorous though, so be careful of that one. And this clematis here is a bit more unusual. It's called the fern leaf clematis, and you can see why, because it's got the ferny leaves. Right, here we go. Now I have to say this question, you'll either know or you won't. Which of these produces a drupe fruit? Is it raspberry, pear, or cherry?
Well, I'm going to, as you said, do a wild guess and go for the cherry.
You're right, well done! Now why did you say, is it because it droops down? Is that why you guessed? Because in actual fact, drupe means a fleshy fruit with a hard stone in it. So a plum is a drupe as well. Right, you chill out while I go and see Joe and tell him the good news. Wow, Joe, the garden's grown huge.
I know, it feels so much bigger, doesn't it?
It does, massive.
Yeah, well, we got rid of the shed in the corner
Right.
and that massive conifer that was only going to get
course.
bigger anyway.
It's funny what you forget was here. I
Yeah.
forgot about the conifer as
Yeah,
well.
I know, and actually it's a good sized little garden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice rose.
Yeah, well, I'm on light duties because of my hand, so a bit of...
It's scented as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice.
No, it's coming on well, though, isn't it?
Good, yeah, whizzing along.
Yeah,
Is
nice
Juliet pulling her weight?
Absolutely.
You're in a bit of a hole there. Ha 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 ha.
It's the most work I've done for days. It's terrible.
Is it nice doing something for Chris?
It is. I have to say, I mean, joking apart, she works really, really long hours. She's a social worker. She deals with pretty horrendous cases. And it's nice to do this because she hasn't had the time to sort out her garden.
I like this customisation of your T-shirt.
Well, I was feeling a bit restricted, you know.
Yeah. How are you going there, Sunshine?
I'm
what do
fine, till you just... How many gardens have you done, Mr. No,
About 103. What's your problem? I don't
go
know.
from it.
I have never come across a builder that's cheerful. Well, not cheerful, but doesn't moan. If you know what I mean.
I've got a moan.
Yeah, and go.
Yeah. Oh, that's going to cost you. Oh.
This is a really pretty rose and one of the only plants in the garden worth keeping. But I'm going to prune it a little bit, keep a nice open shape and take out all the dead and diseased wood.
Well, Chris, all I can say is the skip's very full and your garden looks like it's grown, mate.
Wow.
So we've got 2 groups of evergreen shrubs here. We've got Sarcococca confusa, which has lovely white flowers during the winter, which are really sweetly scented. The thing about plants that flower during the winter, they're normally strongly scented so that they can attract what insects there are out there. And then we've got Hebe red edge. Now during the summer, it's not so noticeable, but you can see there's a slight red edge there. But in the winter, it's really, really strongly tinted and looks lovely. Now, the next question is slightly different because it's a sort of horticultural question, and I'm afraid I'm going to have to blindfold you for this. So here we go. All right. So we're not all going to run off. what I want you to do is I've got 3 different herbs, and I
Okay.
want you to tell me what they are by smelling them and tasting them if you want.
Okay.
But I'd probably go on the sense of smell first.
Okay.
So there's this one. If you squish it, and
Okay.
any ideas?
Yes.
What do you think it might be?
It begins with R.
Okay.
Not sure.
And we've got this one.
This is a minty one.
So
This is, mint.
yeah.
So I'm going to go
Well
with mint.
done.
Yeah,
you got that one right.
Yeah.
So that's mint.
Yes.
Now this one. Okay.
That is sage.
Yep. So that's 2 right. So what did you think the R one was?
Well, just... Oh, it must be rosemary.
Well done. Fantastic. God, look at that. 100%. Jake, Dan.
Boundaries in a small garden are extremely important, so think about what you're going to see when you walk into the space at eye level. Here, what we're doing is cladding this ugly brick wall with some of this willow screening. It won't last forever, maybe 5 years or something, but rather than sagging in the middle, that you often see, we put this batten onto the wall. This is an old bit of deck and offcut. We screwed it firmly into the wall, and now we're fixing this willow screening onto that, so you're not going to get that sag. But rather than just leaving it like that, I'm going to get a bit creative. I'm going to get all artistic with it. So I've got this copper pipe, and we're going to seal it, keep it nice and clean. And then I'm going to do something arty with it. I'm not quite sure what yet, but you'll see a bit later.
Now your little project. These things are called Spanish rings, and you see them in Spain.
Okay.
So you've got a ring like that,
Yes.
and the pot sits in there, and they
Okay.
plant it up. And in Spain, it will be with geraniums, but we want to do something slightly different.
Okay.
What I'd like you to do is be artistic,
Yeah.
make them look a bit modern. We've got some spray paint there,
Yeah.
and we've got some masking tape. And then I'll get you, once it's dry, could be a mistake, or smudgy pots, pot up your heterohelix, which are ivies,
Yes.
and don't forget to put a little bit of stone or something at the bottom so they drain
Okay.
properly.
Yeah.
So you're
Fine.
artistic, are you? Feeling
Well,
artistic?
yes, I think that could work, yeah. The sun is shining, that's
Yeah.
good, yeah.
Okay, I'll leave you to it.
I like to use copper in the garden. It's a great material. Now you can let it go verdigris and weather, or you can keep it nice and shiny. Now the way to keep it shiny is to use this polyurethane varnish and just spray it on, and that'll seal it nicely. Now, Charlie, you may have noticed, because you're so observant, there's a big hole being dug in the garden.
Oh, I wonder what that is then.
We are not putting a tree back in there, because
Oh.
there's one and that's enough. So, under here is a little surprise for you.
A present
It's
for
a
me.
present, it's beautifully wrapped.
Joe,
okay, haven't got
you
your name on it
should
or
have.
anything. Okay, I'm going to leave you to it.
Oh, okay. He got me. Well, I'll tell you what he's got me. An instant kit for you guys at home that are a bit nervous about doing a water feature. Buy one of this type of thing that's idiot-proof, I have to say, because you get the pump, you get all the fittings, you get the feature, and you get the reservoir. As long as you put the reservoir in level, the feature will look fantastic.
These great deck pads lead you diagonally across the garden, but where they lead you to? Well, here we've got a focal point, but it's also a very sociable area. This is a U-shaped bench. Well, it's going to be anyway. They've started here, and it's going to return across the wall there, and then it's going to come back a bit longer out this way, with the cherry tree behind it, and it's going to be a great place to sit. Now, Juliet,
Hiya.
no pressure or anything, but you know you've got a question coming up.
Oh no, I thought this was it.
No, you've got to win it, because it's going to enhance this whole area, the star prize.
I'll do my best.
Okay. So just imagine sitting here. It's going to be a great little sociable place to sit. Now, Dave,
Hello, mate.
How are you building this? What are these anyway? You've got loads of these things.
I made 8 of these.
Yeah.
My shortage of space again. Knocked them up outside. 6x2, all nailed together, and they form the uprights for our bench all the way around.
Very clever.
It is clever, isn't it?
It's a new one.
I'm not as stupid as I look.
Thank God for that.
And then put the decking on top.
Yeah.
Leave it overhanging, and look at this. I haven't tried this honestly.
Oh, look at that.
Look.
Oh, perfection. You should have been a cabinet maker.
I know. I'm wasted landscaping, aren't I?
You are wasted. I'll leave you to it.
I'm impressed, Chris.
Thank you.
Oh, they're quite trendy, aren't they?
Well, I don't know.
Pleased with them?
Yes.
You don't want to fill them up too much because it's
Oh,
always
okay.
good to have a little gap around the top so that when you water them, it doesn't all spill over.
Yes.
Well, that's you done and dusted, as they say in the trade. Okay, pop inside. No looking, all right?
Okay.
Sit and read a book on
Yes.
gardening because you've won all these plants. You're going to have to be able to look after them. Off you go.
Thank you.
Now, when you get these kits, they seem to come with an awful lot of hose, and you want to think, oh, okay, I'll just cut that off really short there. The problem comes if you cut that off and put it on the pump and then lower that into position, it kinks, and then you don't understand why there's no water coming out. Best thing, keep the hose long, put it in a curl, put it on the pump, and as you push that in, all it does is unfurls. That's them all running evenly. This bit goes on there, so that stops any rubbish getting into the reservoir. Then it's a case of dressing it with pebbles to make it look pretty.
Most urban gardens are pretty shady because of trees or surrounding buildings. So we're looking for plants that are going to be able to cope with those conditions well. And here's one. This is Heuchera Palace Purple. It's got this fantastic purple foliage, as you can see, and it's perennial, so it will die back. But then just cut it down to the ground, it'll come back again with lots of fresh foliage the next year. And it also flowers. It's got these lovely little delicate flowers, sprays of them all over, and it's clump forming. We're going to plant them quite densely together to create real impact. And they're great for sort of softening hard landscaping around the edges, or even in raised beds, just sort of flowing over the edge. But really, really lovely plants. Hostas are great in a dark area. Their big leaves soak up as much light as possible. And this is Thomas Hogg. He's got a variegated edge, so it'll also brighten up a dark spot in the garden. And we all know that slugs and snails will eat them in a few minutes. But in this garden, we're going to gravel all the way around it to stop them.
Julia, I have to say the pressure is
Oh,
on. She's
no.
got all her questions right. And look at that, patio heater,
That's it, is it?
lantern, cushions, a bit of gardening kit here and candles.
Just what she needs, really.
Yeah, just to finish it all off because you know how it's going in there. It's looking nice.
It is.
Just be there.
It's looking-
He still is. This don't.
No pressure, you know.
No. And this is the question. What would your main horticultural interest be if you paid regular visits to an arboretum? Is it trees, cacti, or alpine flowers?
Well, arbor. It's French for trees. I think it's trees.
You're right. Fantastic. Breathe. Oh,
Yeah, Chris would have killed her, you know?
Yeah, I know.
She's a tough little
She was already
so-and-so.
going, I want that. I have to say, go inside, we'll do the finishing touches.
lovely.
Do not tell her anything.
I'll walk in going like this.
Yeah, sad, looks sad. Off you go then.
Bye, thanks.
Now, Chris, this morning, remind us what your garden was like.
It was overgrown, full of terrible plants that were in our way and basically looked like it had been neglected and fallen fallow for far too long.
Okay. Do you want to open your eyes then? You don't now, do you?
No.
No, you've been trying to peek all
Terrified.
day.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Is this nice and open for you?
This is really, really good. It's excellent.
Can you believe it?
All that space where your shed was. Seating area,
Oh,
Fantastic, isn't it? Look over there. Look.
some hostas,
Look at
and
those.
all your plants are in. Bamboo.
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
Makes it look much more
gorgeous.
open, doesn't it?
Yeah.
is this? Oh, wow. Oh, this is amazing.
Water.
I know.
Clever Clogs won the
Oh, yes.
heater.
I did win it. I fibbed. And you should kill me, yeah.
So we got
well.
100%
Between
girls.
all, between both of you,
Yay.
did very well.
Gosh, I'm just. It is. No, it is really, really beautiful.
Yeah, this is willow screening with
Okay.
just copper pipes that we've put on there, and they've been sprayed so they'll stay quite bright.
Okay.
That's art.
That's
I'm
art.
just checking in.
That is creative.
And it looks fantastic from the
doesn't it?
lounge. Look
Yeah.
at
Yeah,
that
from
as
inside
well.
out.
Yeah.
The view is
Yeah.
great.
You see the cook pot?
It matches well with the willow screening.
I'm just amazed that you did this in one day.
It means a lot, does it, having it all sorted for you in a day?
God, that's amazing. It looks really lovely. This is excellent, I must say. And all of them look all kind of. They've been here forever. It's really beautiful.
Bye then, girls.
See ya.
Enjoy the garden, won't you? Thanks. And I'm sure they will.
Yeah, definitely. Looks so much bigger that garden by the time we finish with it.
And low maintenance. I mean, she's going to be able to look after it fine because there's not much to do.
No, definitely. You know it's going to get well looked after.
Right then, boys, ready to go home?
In the van, guys.
Go on, keep going, keep going.
Go on.
Go on. So, got part with Joe driving. Oh no!
I'm not that bad.
See you next time.
Bye.